All right,
Hey,
we're back.
good morning. Happy Sunday.
We heard from so many of you after a couple of weeks ago when we did this with real specific questions. So we thought we'd get back on here and answer the most commonly
Yeah.
asked question that
How
we
do you
got.
do that?
How do you do that? We were talking about the amount of vegetables you need to eat.
It's like 10 to 14 servings a day for healthy people. So if you have a disease or if you're an athlete and training a lot, running or otherwise exerting cardiovascularly a lot, you need a lot more. So that's a lot of vegetables.
True story. So people were like, okay, so in your family, how do you actually
I know.
eat 10 to 14 vegetables? So today we wanted to share with you kind of the number one change that we made in order to get that number of vegetables. And the change is fairly simple. It does take some acclimation, but
Yes. Change is hard.
the one area that we realized that had like the strongest potential to change for us was breakfast, because our breakfasts were used to be, I don't know how long it's been, but that probably
It's
doesn't
been a
really
while.
matter. It's been a lot of years, but it used to be cereal. I may have even skipped breakfast, which it's mixed as to whether or not that's okay for you. But I find that I do much better when I eat breakfast, but I tend to hold mine off until after I work out. Owen wakes up pretty hungry and has his earlier and before he goes to work. And we eat really different breakfasts because we have really different like hunger levels when we get up. So,
And schedules.
and schedules. That's true. Um, I work from home. I can snack all day for better or worse.
And I can't. I start with clients in the morning and I can't really snack at all until lunch. So I kind of have to make sure that, I'm good to go and have energy to see me through. So I tend to eat a heavier breakfast.
Yes. Yeah. So mine's simple. I start mine with a smoothie every single morning. I always put vegetables in my smoothie. I try to go vegetable heavy. Smoothies can become big sugar bombs, and they say the way you
yeah.
start your day is the way you'll like live your day. I don't know it's a catchier phrase than that, but but by making good mindful choices about how you start your day, you're more likely to make good mindful choices the rest of the day. So
Well, especially if your blood sugar's balanced, it just helps that be a lot easier.
it's true.
So-
So I always throw vegetables in. I always have a green. Spinach is an excellent green because it's super sweet and you're not likely to taste it. You can Google smoothie recipes, vegetable smoothie recipes, and get lots of options. There's a ton of great options. We don't need to talk about that here. But I also put in a really great protein powder which
Yeah.
has vegetables in it and helps balance my blood sugar levels. And that's important too.
Well, there's a couple of protein powders. One is chocolate. I think it's amazing. It's really tasty. So if you're used to eating a lot of sweet stuff for breakfast, this is a way to kind of strike a balance where it feels really good. Like that peanut butter chocolate one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it's really good. So with the protein powder too, there's a lot of recipes specific for it. But
Yeah, kids
anyway,
love it.
lots of choices.
Yeah, smoothies are very versatile. But Owen does this like hungry man breakfast.
Yeah, sometimes I go through phases where I add a little smoothie too, just to get a lot more vegetables. But for the most part, I do my Hungry Man breakfast, which just takes like an hour a week. So I tend to batch cook some crumbled turkey sausage, which is a really tasty recipe that it's really easy. You just have to cook it. That's the thing that takes a little time. Sweet potatoes get thrown in the oven, so I batch cook those too. So I've got a bunch on hand for the week. And then I also usually use spinach, or right now there's lots of chard coming in our CSA box, and the farmer's market has some great local greens.
And we've got all those greens on our tower garden too.
Oh yeah, and the tower garden's getting full of them.
Yeah.
So there's lots of options, but spinach is like a really easy go-to when there's not other stuff around. So I usually saute that in the morning, add one of those pre-cooked sweet potatoes and some of that crumbled turkey sausage. So really it's just a matter of heating it up and sauteing the spinach, which just takes 3 minutes. Add a little salsa on top, or some cultured vegetables, or some kimchi or something. Maybe some walnuts. All that's optional. Avocado's really good. But you can add more and more stuff to make it super tasty. But even that foundational green sweet potato and turkey sausage is plenty good. So just takes a little acclimating. The word really is addiction. With all the sugar in the morning, it takes a little bit of training your brain to see a different option there. But then there's really delicious stuff and a whole nother world, and lots of windows open with featuring vegetables. So
And-
it's pretty easy once you make the change.
And it's interesting, speaking of sugar, like I lead people through these sugar shake-offs and sugar detoxes, and breakfast is the one area where people are like, wait, what do? I don't even get how to not have sugar. So
Yeah.
it's a good area to really look at and just make sure that what you're getting is good fuel for your body. And rethinking breakfast. I think bringing in, just eating leftovers. You don't have to make it complicated, right?
Yeah.
But like just having what you might have for lunch or dinner at breakfast time is another good way to do it and not have it be a pastry heavy time.
Just thinking about how there could be some vegetables there is a great way to start reframing your thinking and move towards that 10 to 14, minimal servings of vegetables a day. So
Yeah,
that's one thing we do.
that is. So this week you could just try just adding one vegetable. You don't have to totally change over your whole routine, but just try adding a vegetable
Put
to
some
your
vegetables
morning.
in your cereal.
Cultured vegetables.
Definitely.
Kimchi.
Yeah, fermented vegetables is the best with cereal.
All right. Enjoy. Have a great week.